it strong.
Hi everyone, hope you all had a great week.
Welcome back to Mahu Kids.
Today we have Kayla with us. Some of you may recognise her from our quiz battle a few weeks ago that she won.
Hi everyone, I'm super excited to be here again.
Does anyone remember what we learned about last week?
Oh man, I do.
What was it, Bo?
We learnt about Jesus healing a blind man by putting mud in his eyes.
Yeah, we learned about a man who received his physical sight, but not only did he receive his physical sight, he also received his spiritual sight.
What's spiritual sight?
Spiritual sight means that when we choose to follow Jesus, we start to see Jesus, ourselves, and the world a bit differently.
That's awesome. So, what are we learning about today?
Today we're learning about one of Jesus' friends called Lazarus and how he died.
Oh, that's very sad.
It's not though. There's a plot twist.
If you say so.
On with the show. So between last week's story and now, the Pharisees tried to have Jesus killed again, but he escaped and he crossed the Jordan River. Meanwhile in Bethany there were three siblings, Mary, Martha and Lazarus. They were good friends of Jesus. Lazarus had become quite sick and he was probably going to die. When Jesus heard the news, he said, "This sickness will not end in death. No, it is for God's glory, so that God's Son may be glorified through it." But Jesus didn't go to Lazarus straight away. After 2 days, Jesus said to the disciples, "Let us go back to Judea."
Isn't Judea where all the angry Pharisees were waiting?
That's right, the disciples were a bit confused about that decision. He then told the disciples, "Lazarus is dead, and for your sake I am glad I was not there, so that you may believe, but let us go to him."
He's glad he wasn't there? That's a bit savage.
Actually, I think Jesus wanted to demonstrate something, and he couldn't demonstrate that if Lazarus had been alive. When Jesus arrived, Martha came to meet him. "Lord," Martha said to Jesus, "if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But I know that even now God will give you what you ask." Jesus replied, "Your brother will rise again."
I don't understand what he's saying.
I think Martha was a bit confused too. So Jesus explained to her, "I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live even though they die, and whoever lives by believing in me will never die. Do you believe this?" "Yes, Lord," replied Martha. "I believe you are the Messiah, the Son of God, who is to come into the world." Then Jesus took some time to cry over the death of Lazarus. He loved his friend, and he was so sad that he died.
Didn't he open the eyes of a blind man last week? So then, why couldn't he save Lazarus from dying?
Sometimes how God and Jesus work in our lives doesn't make sense, and it's the same for Bible stories. Then they went to the tomb that Lazarus' body had been in for 4 days. A stone was in place across the entrance. Martha was concerned about opening the tomb, but Jesus said to her, "Did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God?" So they took the stone away. Jesus prayed to his heavenly Father and called out in a loud voice, "Lazarus, come out!" And out walked Lazarus. He was alive and well. He went home with his sisters, who were very happy with what God had done.
He brought a man back from the dead? That's amazing.
That's right. Jesus demonstrated God's power over death, and we're going to reflect on this in today's craft.
That story was so crazy.
God's pretty powerful, right?
Yeah. So, what are we making today?
Today we're making comic strips. In your packs you should find a comic strip template, or you can find one on the internet.
So basically we just draw the story of Jesus bringing Lazarus back from the dead?
Exactly. Just like I've done. Or if you don't feel like drawing, you could write it out.
Let's get drawing.
Wow, that's so cool, Kayla. Do you want to show us what you did?
Sure. So I did writing and also a little bit of drawing. Here I have Lazarus and his 3 siblings, all super happy. However, sadly, Lazarus got sick and died. They threw a funeral for him and they were all super upset until Jesus arrived. Jesus arrived and told Lazarus to come out. Everyone else at the funeral was super confused until Lazarus just walked out. Lazarus was so happy to be alive, and so was his siblings, and they all were happy in the end.
That's so cool. Are you ready for the challenge? You've got George and Moe going up in the recap quiz.
I am. This will be interesting.
Yep. You ready, Bo?
Welcome back, everyone. We have spent the last couple of months learning about the 7 miracles or 7 signs that Jesus performed in the book of John. Today, we are going to test that knowledge. Play along if you can answer the questions. This is a recap quiz. George and Moe will each have a set of 7 questions to answer. George, you're up first. Are you ready?
Yeah?
Time starts now. Now, what town does Jesus perform his first miracle in episode 1?
Cana?
Correct. In episode 2, the pink bunny is wearing a bow tie. True or false?
True.
Correct. What colour shirt is Bo wearing in episode 3?
Is it blue?
No. What was the name of the story in episode 4?
Is it the never-ending picnic?
Correct. What does George forget to say in episode 5?
Oh, welcome to Mahu Kids Online.
Correct. What can be seen beside becks in episode 6? Hint, it's not supposed to be there.
Don't know.
Who was introduced in today's episode?
Oh, Kayla.
Correct. Time's up, George. You have 5 points. Moe, it's now your turn. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Great. Your time starts now. What colour shirt is George wearing in episode 1, the first miracle?
It was a yellow-orange tie-dye.
No. In episode 2, what time was the boy healed when the father asked the servants?
It was in the morning.
Wrong. What was the name of the pool that the paralysed man would lay beside in episode 3?
It was the Pool of Bethesda.
Correct. In episode 4, who says welcome back to Mahu Kids Online?
Ooh, Bix did.
Correct. What was the name of Tynan's boat that he made for the challenge in episode 5?
It was the water walker.
Correct. In episode 6, what colour is my challenge shirt?
Oh, I don't know. Was it yellow?
No! Offended! What was the name of the person who was raised from the dead in today's story?
Lazarus.
Correct! Time's up, Moe. You have 4 points. Congratulations, George. You are today's winner.
Woohoo!
Thanks for joining us today. We'll catch you next week for another installment of the Mahu Olympics.
Bye.
Bye.
I still can't believe that Jesus raised that guy back from the dead.
Yeah, he did. And he's doing so much more next.
Really? Like what?
Well, actually, we're starting our Easter series called The Greatest Act of Love. And there's so much to the story to tell.
What was the greatest act of love?
You have to wait and find out.
Fine. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Be strong.